Okay, what now? That's better. Come on, really. Okay, in that case, I need to put it on pause really quick. to reinstall the system, and a few things are yet in place. Hey Adi, how's it going? Okay, all right. It's all right. It's all right. I had to switch to another system, and now everything is off. So that here, up here. Okay, that's better. Are you you're participating today, right? In the training. So, awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is and next, I got a little bit into subgraphs, and did some research and got some help from the folks on the Graph Discord, and even ChatGPT helped me a little bit, because I had to start basically from scratch. And I think what I want to do today is I do have here this active streams number, and right now it's a static number that I get in there, and now I want to retrieve those informations from the blockchain. So subgraphs is, I'm not if you're familiar Adi, with the graph. It's the graph. It's basically a protocol to query informations on the blockchain. So otherwise you would have to index the whole blockchain yourself to search for stuff. And that's basically what the graph does. They're indexing the whole blockchain and make it searchable. So you get API endpoints, and then can this GraphQL make for requests. And so far as I know, there are these main graphs that they build themselves, and you can fork them or expand them and then deploy them as subgraphs, so you can do more specific requests based on your needs. And that's exactly what Superfluid does. So what I wanted to do is, there's the Superfluid console. So if I look here for the FractionToken, then you can see here that there are the active streams. They are getting indexed, and what Superfluid has built in the console is API. So Today I'm using the API, the subgraphs that Superfluid built, and I'm just querying the blockchains by using the Superfluid subgraph to get in return the total amount of active streams on the network, and then I'm calculating them together to have here on the first section the active streams, and here on the current status overview the specific ones per network. That's what I'm going to do today. And as you can see here, it's a little bit overwhelming when you're going into that the first time. But the cool thing is, if you have that one here, so I'll start right away, right from the beginning again, because I'm not so sure which one is here the correct. So, console, Superfluid Advanced. So I'm looking here for the FractionToken. Then we have here all the deployments on the different networks already, but we're going with the GnosisChain for now, because they are the most streams at the moment. The total volume of objects. So I'm not sure if there's an actual limit about the objects you get. I just know that if you query the current subgraph there's a limit of 100 results the quarter. So you would have to then use an offset and do another request, an offset and another request. So that was basically the first idea that I had to do, because Sam from Superfluid told me that there's the quota, and that's currently the only way to do them. But yesterday they deployed a new version or an update to the stream, to the subgraph, and that introduced the account token snapshot in here, and there you can request also the total amount, total number of active streams, and that's exactly what I need. So I do have here the query variables, which are the ID, so they're getting loading in here, and if I hit play, then it queries the stuff from the subgraph on the GnosisChain. So I'm gonna trick here a little bit, because I already have it here, and there is something called the token statistic in here, and so for example I could say give me all streams. Let's close that one in here. So that's the token. I'll close this one here, and let's say here for streams, give me all streams where the ID is ID. Get rid of the oops. Where? But basically, you can build. You can build your query here by selecting the objects. But what I currently need is just the token statistic in here, and I'll say I want that. Let's get rid of that, and I'll also get rid of this one here, because I don't want to use, because I need to edit it anyways. and there I'll just get the total number of active streams, which is this one here. So yeah, of course I do need to paste in here the contract. That's the token contract, and I get back the exact amount of the currencies. But I think, let's see if there, what happens if the total indexes 0, closed streams 18. Oh, that's cool. Total supply. We can take a look at different things, but for now I just need the total number of active streams. And that is the result that I'm creating. So I got already prepared a little bit something here, and because usually you would do that with npm and then with JavaScript and everything, but I want to do it with PHP, so I can store it in a database and not do every time a request someone visits the website, because I think that would put unnecessary load. And since I didn't deploy, if I would have my own subgraph deployed and I would pay for that, then that's another thing. But at some point, at the later point, I will build in some caching option, where if the last request is older than, let's say, an hour or so, then it grabs the latest status from the subgraph endpoint. So in the worst case, I have 6 requests times 24 per day, and that's basically ignorable for all of them. And yeah, so we are going to kick that out. That's one of the examples, and that is one of the nice examples that Ricky from the Graph Discord gave me. And you basically just do an JSON request and then do the query and iterate through the result. But we are not going to use that today. We are going to get the new file, get active streams, and I'll just copy and paste this stuff here right now, because that's right now what the only thing I'm going to need. Okay. So, and I already got the subgraph endpoint here. So once you run, execute the query, you can see here down there below where the result came from, and that's the subgraph here. But I figured out that they also have something for the others as well, so I collected all of them already and figured out that if I change the back to xDie, that works as well. So I'm going to use this one here. And basically, you define the endpoint in PHP, then define the query, then select the options where you for the curl request, and the curl request basically makes the server makes a JSON call and then returns it into the variable. So here happens the request part, and everything goes back with the data in the data variable. And so and then we decode the response into the data variable. And usually, if you would have a lot of different results, you would use the for each and then iterate through them. But since I only have one result per, there's only one result, I'll just jump to the correct point in the array. So let's delete this one here and take a look. So that's the response here. And since I don't want to have the full array, I'll write that into the correct variable. Let's see what I'm using here on the side. Am I stupid? It's a playground. Let's get a fraction. Sales across all networks. Content distribution. That's it. Okay, well, that's interesting. Set extras. Oh, okay, yeah. Did iterate them through. Token distribution, that's the active streams. Let's see what we built there in the end. So, quick reminder what happens here. To build this stuff here, that's basically the PHP variant of that page. So I'm going to take this one here a bit, and also so that people can actually read it, increase the size here. So we have here the for each for the token distribution item, and I guess we are iterating here through if it's GnosisChain, Polygon, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Celo, then we add here the access array, token distribution item. I mean, I wrote everything like half a year ago, so it's probably going to be a little bit there is the token distribution array, and and there is the and here we just basically hard-coded them in there. So if I want to exchange all of that, I'll just update this array in here, and everything updates on the website as well. So if I set here, let's say for Polygon from 5 to 15, I'll upload that and refresh it here, then it's 15. So once I get the exact information from the blockchain and I stored everything, I'll just update this one in here, and that fills it up. So as for now, we do have here the endpoints, we have the query and the options to make the request. Here also the request, here comes the data, and in return in there we get the total number of active streams. So well, set this here, then we have here the Gnosis. So basically we could hard code everything all over, or we put everything into a function and then call that function 3 times or 4 times, and then I think that would make my life easier. So let's put this here into a function, then call the function into a variable, so that in the end that variable holds the specific amount of the streams, the active streams in there, and then we are going to calculate them together. So in the end we have these 7 values. What kind of volume of requests are you expecting? Do you mean how often I'm going to ask the graph for the latest version, or do you mean what's the volume, what the each request has the volume? Yes to the first. So as for now, I'm writing it that every time if you open up the website, it does the request. But I'm going to put some caching function then later on at the later point, so that I'll show. So it's going to get the infos, store them in somewhere, and if the last state is older than an hour or so, then it does a new one. So I would say 6 times 24 in the worst case, which is 132 requests per day tops. And in the end, so in the worst case, you see the active streams that represent the last hour or so. But I could increase it. But since I'm using Superfluid's SubGraph, I don't want to stress their quota. Okay, so let's write the function. We have here. Let's give that the first one would be the SubGraph endpoint, and the second would be the token contract. Because unfortunately the token contract isn't the same on every chain. There are two different token contracts. So on GnosisChain, it's the one that ends with A64, and on Optimism, it's the one that ends with D4. So Yeah, I mean, right now the website, there's not much traffic on the website so far, but I also don't want to, when I'm using someone else's infrastructure for something, I want to be as lightweight as possible, and I guess there's not that much additional benefit for everyone to know the exact amount of active streams. That's sort of a nice addition. So I think it's just that the caching layer gets justified by not being a dick, let's call it that. And right now, not because there are so many requests all the time. So we have here this let's see. Yeah, it's not being a dick caching. Probably should that give a name. Get active. Get active streams. Oop. So let's do that step by step by step. Also for everyone who's not really, because too few arguments. I think because we didn't pass anything there. Yes. So, okay. So we do have here the endpoint, which is this one here, just for example. Or I mean, I think I could even say this one here. Or this. So okay, still nothing. So let's say the endpoint and SubGraph endpoint. So let's make it a bit bigger. So and say your token contract. So now we know that. Oops. So, okay. I'm really doing this here step by step to make it very easy to follow. So what I'm going to do is I'm defining here the function, giving it the name, and then which informations I want to feed the function in here, which is the SubGraph endpoint and the token contract. And here I'm calling the function. So I'm giving the function get active streams this first value and then the second value, which this one here gets in here. And since the function then holds it, I'll say, okay, now print it out so that I know that you actually got this. Well, that's basically what's happening here. Now. So since we now know that I can give the function those infos, I am going to make sure that the query happens, so we can actually simply just take this here and grab that into here. So at this point, it's still the same, nothing happens, but we give the subgraph endpoint already here, so the curl command knows what up, and we are going to add this one here, so that here the token contract gets as well. Okay. So now if I echo here the data, I should see an array, and that's the result here. So, and basically what we want to get in return from the function is the total amount of active streams. And since I already have that here as well, I'll just grab that one here. So this here is an array, and if I want to get only the number, I'll say give me from the data variable, which has the response in here, and let's delete that stuff here. Go from data. So the first element is here also called the data, and then we take the next one, which is the token statistic, the next layer in here. So this has multiple dimensions, but only one item each. So it's basically just going down the road here, and since we don't want that to echo anything here, and give that. And now all that does is should now only echo this one here. Okay, so and now I can say I need the active streams for GnosisChain. And I think it doesn't really make sense this entering that into that, or basically we have can let the function down here down below. So active streams of GnosisChain, and now we are going to set GnosisChain prismatic. Then we have the Optimism mainnet here, Arbitrum 1. Avalanche C chain, BSC mainnet. Okay, so we don't need the last two, and that's only the contract for ExtraChain and Arbitrum, as you can see here, A61. So we're going to take this one here. Let's make sure, because it's I'll take the contract. mean, I do get you know what? I do have the globals here, and there, yeah, but there. Fuck it. Let's write that. So for Matic, that's for Optimism, for Avalanche, for BSC. We have this one here, and that is for Polygon. Then we have that one here for Optimism. This is here for Arbitrum. This one here for Avalanche. And this here for BNBChain. Okay. So now when this page gets loaded, then what it does, it fills this variable here by calling the function down here below, giving the function the graph endpoint, the subgraph endpoint, and the contract I want to query at, and it will write back the number of active streams in here. So if I now open up that page, guess what? It will show nothing, because we do fill up the variables, but we never print them anywhere. So and now we do make sure that if the result that gets returned is anything, it has to be a number, so that we can then calculate the and there's the called the function isInt. So if you know what, we do that also in the function in here. So we write in here total numbers of active streams. Is probably better than total active streams result. Write that one in here. So then we return this one. Okay. See if that's actually returning something. Array key active streams. Guess that's the wrong one. Total number of active streams. Token statistic, total number of active streams. So click that. Okay, so now we get that number back. And what we are going to do now is, if the result if is int, and that should return true or false, is true. Basically, if it's not true, then we say that active stream result is 0. So that in the worst case, nothing goes sideways. In case the result, there's an error or something changes and there's no number I get back, that if I want to calculate something, that it doesn't affect all the other stuff then later on. And now we do the token. I think I already got that somewhere out there. Okay. Nope, no, that's, I think, where's the home? That's the first one, and then we have this the stats. And that is active streams. And we say that is total active streams across all chains. So and we say S plus and BNBChain. So okay, and now you can see streams. Checks token holders amount. That's the Kanga update. That's current percentage. Okay. Yes. Streams. And no. So now we get all of that in here, and let's grab this stuff here. Where are the checks? So checks. The BNBChain. Avalanche, Arbitrum. Okay, Optimism here. It's Polygon. Polygon. let's prepare Celo and Ethereum as well. And just set that to 0. Ethereum. Okay. So, okay. And now I think actually that should be it. Yeah, see you in an hour. Bye, Adi. Let's see, either everything blows up now or we do get a higher number now. 12, and we have 49, 8, 2, 3, 3, 2. That looks correct. Woohoo! That's great. Which means we can now have here the checks, and cool. And I think the next time I'm going to build the caching stuff for that. So I'm going to get the to-do here up. Get amount of fraction, get amount. Let's set that to 80%. Because now if we go here to do, that is mostly done. Chain to caching. Okay. And that's how we added that. That's pretty nice. So we now think, let's see, so should maybe change the Celo symbols at some point. But we now have here the active streams in there. Next time, I also need to figure out how to get the total amount of the fractions. Was it really? And this amount here is basically by calling the looking at the contract, the current balance on one side, which is at the moment, I think, is the token distribution. That's the current percentage. Let's call that. Yeah, that's an old status, but get percentage. Yeah, there's the serialized array in there. Get percentage, and I think it should take a look at the current balance of that next time. So much for the graph stuff here. Yeah. We do have here the main website, and that's the current status. Right now, there are some preparations to actually call this. I just have to look up the exact amount of how much there's in the router, and then subtract it at the end to get what's on the Gnosis chains, and then I know the distribution across the chains. That's here the connext router. Then here's how you can buy it. I already changed that to jumper.exchange because it's not transferred to XYZ anymore. It's Jumper. DeFi renamed that. The faucet has been deployed on all chains. There's the subdomain is also in place. I think I still need to build the copy stuff here. The good thing is that the contract is the same on all, and that works. And yeah, then here's also the streaming faucet. Got the separate entry. As for the faucet, I still need to try it out on each network if the stream really opens, and also to figure out the suggested gas amount so that I can also give the info in here to some extent, and if the ENS works, or if I do have to make a separate record for that per chain. But right now I'm hopeful that it's okay that way. Here are the relevant transactions so far. I still need to, for some I entered them already, but some are still missing. Like this one here, as you can see, it scrolls up, says there's nothing in there. But I already gathered some information, so just need to do the very boring copy and paste stuff. I'm also not super happy about the scroll bar here, so I need to figure out a better way for that. One thing I have in mind is that I catch when I scroll till here, and then if you continue scrolling, that it scrolls to the right, and once you hit the end, it unlocks it again, and then you continue scrolling. I have to take a look if that's really what I want to do. Here's the shout out. I exchanged the Jumper logo and added the Peanut protocol, which is pretty cool. Also, the FractionToken shows up there in the UI already. You can send it on all chains, which is pretty nice. We have here the NFTs, which is currently also on for OpenSea, but I do want to switch to another platform there. There's a candidate, but it's not at the point where I can talk about that. Here we have the milestones so far. So that one here, I see I could increase that map. faucets. I can set that to 80% now. Perfect. That's not 80%. Yep, that's part of that. The DAO text still needs to get written. The one big chunk is the white paper, but I also have some structure in there for that as well already, and continue writing on that. Yeah, we're getting there. Also, here are quite a lot of different platforms. So before the website will go live, I will cut that down. So for example, the Instagram and the Telegram and Mastodon, that will get kicked out. There are still the links in the Linktree organization, but it gets a separate inactive section. So that's basically just so that nobody can grab the usernames, and here are going to be the official ones. Also now there's the Mirror XYZ account, where I posted the previous articles, and bigger announcements will then there be as well. And also there's the Lens profile, which gets a little bit of traction already. And yeah, so once that's done, then I'll continue on the network specific subpages. This one here for the GnosisChain. So it enters with some introduction about the specific blockchain and some info here, the themed logos, some stats about that, and that's just a clone of the current site in there that will get network specific infos at some point. So the listed at the faucet will get its own more extended explanation what the faucet is about, how to interact with it, what to do if it doesn't work, and who's behind it, and whatever. The NFTs will still be there. I might be flipping it off because each sold NFT will trigger a snapshot vote where to place the funds that the revenue. And I might do this. These NFTs have been used for that specific network, so that you can see these are still for sale, and these have been used for the GnosisChain, this for Polygon, and so on and so on. Then also, of course, the network specific roadmap, which is here still a clone of the one from the main. But it should also show what happened on that specific chain and what are the plans for that. Because at some point there might be different approaches or network specific approaches. So that's relevant. Here's, and of course the DAO, because you can vote in the snapshot DAO with fraction from any chain. It even accumulates your voting power. And once that's done, I still need to do the responsive styles and then the menu, and I guess when that's done, I make the 30-second animation, and then I'm good to go. Then I'll go live with the project, and then we'll see what happens. I also want to do this feedback loop on Lens, on the Lens protocol, where there's going to be a distribution loop that accumulates some funds over and over again each week to slowly build up a little bit better the liquidity, because I think that's one of the biggest problems or unsolved problems I have, to how to get good liquidity on the DEXs so that you can actually buy them without huge fluctuations of the price. And also, if there's enough liquidity, it's also way easier to get listed on CoinMarketCap and on CoinGecko and Update there, because they do get requests a lot from this low profile projects. And yeah, I mean, it's still one of them. All right, so that's the current status of the project. I'll continue working on it. Probably this month, not that much, but early April, I will crank it up to get quite a lot done to the 2-year anniversary. Yeah. But great, because the interaction with the graph was something I was pulling ahead all the time, and now I got this. Also, I saw that Sam from Superfluid wrote me something about how to approach if it's or a possible option to also get the amount of holders, which could work. And if that works, that would be so great, because then I just have one request for the whole shit, and that would be so nice. Okay, I guess that's it. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out via one of the platforms or links or something else, or tune in on the next stream. Bye-bye.